Hi, my name is Susana Vaamonde. I live in Los Angeles. I'm Venezuelan. I'm a single mom, and I also a journalist. As a single mom, you always need to do stuff with your kid. So you need to take him to school, you need to do homework, you have to take him to his activities, all different things. So, it's not always easy to find time to do things for yourself. The reason why I want this reading is because I feel that I'm living a new chapter in my life. After 11 years, I'm getting divorced right now, so I just wanted to see what's gonna happen in this, love area. Being single is kind of different for me right now because I was in an 11-year relationship. So at that time, online dating and all that stuff, dating apps didn't exist. So I know that's how people get to know each other right now, and I'm not very into that. I prefer to, get to know someone if I go to a bar or something like that. But it's not even my priority. Right now I'm working on myself. I'm trying to focus in on my career and also my son because he's the #1 thing in my life. So I don't know, I'm not in a rush, for having like a new relationship. So I'm just trying to live my life and work on myself. For me, my #1 priority.
Hi, my name is JC Caramillo. I'm a professional makeup artist and an intuitive reader, and I am the host of Head to Soul, the first show that incorporates both worlds.
There's a process that goes into being in a moment and being still. I always prepare with meditation, but there's also other tools that I use to just bless my space and to kind of activate a protection into my work environment. So there's intention that goes into what you do. Something as simple as taking a shower should have intention, and that makes every experience even more powerful. I am with Susana, my guest today, and we're about to pull some cards for her right before we start doing her foundation. We're gonna pull a total of 5 to 6 cards. As I'm pulling the cards, I feel like rushed. I feel like I'm always on the go. I feel like I don't have time to waste. And I feel like things need to be done. And if it becomes a little too time consuming, then we gotta move on from it. And I'm actually connecting to Susana as we speak. This is the way the readings work. As I set the intention to connect, and the way of the flow of the cards often for me represents the flow of the person's current lifestyle. There's times where the cards will get stuck, which means the person feels very stuck right now. For me, in a moment, these cards were about to get stuck, but it was like they found their way immediately. So the moment Susana gets stuck in life, it feels like she says, if this isn't working, I'm not gonna wait till the dead end, turn around, take another route. Is this true?
Completely.
Okay. All right, we have 6 cards total. 2 cards are actually right side up and 4 cards are upside down, which means that there's very minimal things in Susana's current lifestyle that are clear. Everything else is just kind of like, let's see what happens when I open this door up. Is this true?
True.
Okay. I'm gonna show you guys the first 2 cards that we're gonna talk about as I start doing foundation for her. We have the Knight of Pentacles in the upright. And the one that was upside down, it was not only in reverse but upside down, is the 9 of Wands. So we have 2 cards for her here. Okay, Susana, I have a sponge and I have cards.
Okay.
Will you hold these?
Yes.
We're gonna start talking.
Okay.
So the cards that I got for you for the first 2 are talking about a masculine energy, and immediately I'm being drawn to a relationship. Mm-hmm. This masculine energy, as you can see here, it says, this guy is a workaholic. Mm-hmm. This person is obsessed with success, financially secure, and this also can be very stubborn.
Yes.
And that's as much as I want to read from the card, because everything else I want to do is I want to connect with you intuitively.
Okay.
I feel like you guys are 2 great people, but you are not sure sometimes if you're great for each other. Mm-hmm. The next card here talks about being defensive, and this is your energy. I feel like you're at a point now where, as nice as this person wants to be with you, you're already ready for an attack. Yeah. You're defensive and you're not sure how you got to this point. I feel like you don't want to be that way, but I feel like you can't help it. So card also talks about feel emotionally and physically tired from the constant conflict and setbacks in your life. And we're talking about the connection, right? So I feel immediately that one of the things that is coming up for you is the confusion of where did things get to this point. This part of your life is affecting all other areas because I feel like you put so much energy into this connection that when you realize that it was not going in the way that you wanted it, almost like control issues. You know, you kind of want things to go the way you want them to, and when they start drifting in another direction, you're like, nope, where are you going? We're supposed to go this way. Right? So that started to kind of mess with you, and it started to affect multiple areas of your life.
I'm very controlling.
Yeah, I feel that. I don't want to say controlling in the negative context. I want to say that you feel like you know what's the best for the connection, and you want to guide it in the most loving way. But the person is not receiving it as that. The person is receiving it as, you always want to tell me what we should do. You want to take the lead. You want to take control, and it becomes a little conflicting. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, completely.
And this connection with the father energy feels like it was an example growing up, the relationship with your, maybe seeing like the father image in your life, and almost saying like, I'm gonna pick someone that's not like my dad. Does this resonate with you?
Yes, completely.
So because you went out of your way to pick somebody that is not like your father, you want to make sure that every single time this person tries to like, every single time your partner does something and they remind you of something from childhood, you're like, no, you're not going to go that direction because I already witnessed that. Right? So it makes you really apprehensive, and it gets things tense.
I love my father, but I'm looking for a different type of relationship that my parents have. So that makes sense.
When things like this come up where you start to see like fear and I don't want my relationship to be like my parents, and then you start to see that as hard as you have tried to build something different, it feels like a lot of things remind you of that. You're like, how did I get here? Because I tried so hard to not avoid it, and somehow, some way, through different issues and different obstacles, not the same ones as your parents, but it makes you feel like you are kind of not successful. Like, did I pick the right person? Did I do enough research? Did I take enough time? Because I feel your father to have changed. I feel him to be a different energy, and I think we're gonna move on to contour, and then we'll keep talking about this.
Okay, perfect.
How about that?